Hey friends, today I want to talk to you about cutting and using scissors, okay? You have a pair of scissors in your supply bag that you got from school. These are kid scissors. These are the safest scissors for a kid to use. You should probably not use grown-up scissors quite yet. Let's practice with these kid scissors first. Okay, so the first thing we need to talk about is scissor safety, okay? When you're not using your scissors, you should hold them like this so the pointy sides are not showing and they're not out there able to poke you or poke a friend, okay? We want them like this. Scissors, kid scissors aren't that sharp, but real scissors are sharp and you still could cut yourself. So I don't want to see ever kids like holding scissors like this or walking around like this with scissors. If you need to move scissors and you're not cutting, you should hold them like this. That's the safest way to hold them. Okay, so now we can talk about cutting. All right, there's something you really need to remember when you're cutting, and that's called thumbs up, okay? So you're gonna have thumbs up on the hand that's holding your paper like this, okay? I don't wanna see kids holding the paper like this with their thumb down. That's not an easy way to cut. It actually makes cutting harder for you. So you're going to have thumbs up on the paper that you're holding. I have this paper here that has, oops, I dropped my scissors. I have this paper here that has dotted lines on it. Dotted lines usually mean that you need to cut those lines, okay? So I've got my thumbs up on this hand holding the paper, all right? Now I need to hold my scissors. Scissors usually have a small hole and a big hole. So I want you to put your thumbs up and your thumb's going to go right in that small hole. You want the small hole on the top. Okay, then your next two fingers are going to go in the big hole. These two fingers, they don't have to do anything. They can just rest and stay down. Okay, so I want my thumb up on this side and my thumb up on the paper that I'm cutting. Okay, so I got thumb up here, thumb up here. I don't want to see you cutting with your thumb down or cutting, like sideways, okay? Always thumb up. And the other thing you need to know is you're always going to cut away from your body, okay? I don't want to see kids cutting sideways or cutting back towards your body. That's not safe and it's not the easiest way to cut. You want the easiest way to cut. All right, so thumbs up here, thumbs up here. I'm going to cut this way away from my body. All right, here I go. So what I'm going to do is open and close the scissors as I go along the paper. Here I go. Here we go. All right, I got one line down. This one's a little different because it's a little bit curvy, but I think I can do it. All right, my thumb's up on this side, my thumb's up on this side, and I'm cutting away from my body. I'm not going to turn my hand like this or cut sideways. I'm just going to cut away from my body. So here I go. So I'm actually going to move the paper, not my scissors. See, I'm moving the paper as I go. I'm not moving my hand. I'm moving the paper. There we go. Okay. Sometimes when kids are cutting like something like a circle, we're going to do that next. Sometimes kids start cutting and I see them cutting sideways and then trying to come back around this way to cut the circle. Just keep cutting this way away from your body and turn the paper. When you turn the paper, you'll be able to cut the circle. So here I go. All right. So I'm cutting away from my body. And I'm not going to start turning this way or turning this way. I'm just going to use this hand to turn the paper. Here I go. See, I'm still cutting away from my body. let me get this out of the way. I'm cutting away from my body and just turning the paper. See how I'm moving the paper? I'm not moving my hand, my cutting hand. My cutting hand's just keeps cutting away from my body and I'm moving the paper to try to stay on the lines. Did it. I never started going like this to come around the circle. I never started coming like this around the circle. I just kept cutting this way and moving the paper as I went. Now, friends, you should know cutting is very hard, and you don't need to be upset if cutting is very hard for you at first. I've been cutting for many, many, many years. That's why I'm so good at it. The more you cut in practice, the better you will be at cutting too. So don't be upset if your cutting is kind of crazy at first. If you want, just to start and just to practice, you can do snipping. So that means you just practice going like this. Just practice getting used to the scissors by making little snips, okay? Or cutting like little snips like that. Okay, do whatever you feel comfortable with, okay? This is a good way to start, and then you can start cutting lines after, or cut out shapes, or cut something out that you see maybe in a magazine. So you can start with snips, and then you can start to cutting like long lines or cut out shapes. But cutting is hard. Don't get upset if it's very hard at first. It takes a lot of practice. But the more you use scissors and the more you cut, the better you will be at cutting. Okay? So go and try and cut something out if you want, or you can try to snip out of a magazine if your family says it's okay. Don't use scissors unless a grown-up says it's okay. But you can try to snip things out of a magazine or cut out a shape. You could even do what I do. I drew a circle on paper and then I cut it out. You could do that. You could draw circles or lines or any shape and then practice cutting it out. Okay, so remember though, friends, thumbs up when you're cutting away from your body and thumbs up on your other hand too that's holding the paper. Okay, none of this with your thumb. My thumb's under here. None of that with the thumb down. Thumbs up, away from your body. Okay, friends, good luck. Keep practicing.